And now with Schlott, it's more like he's in the central space. He's in the half space. He's overlapping. He's
It's like a blend of
everywhere.
everything. Performed, I've put in goals, assists, ran back, did everything. I think the time now is to pay me maybe what I was worth back then, and I didn't take that money.
I'm gonna give it 90%. I'm gonna give it 90%. We're gonna talk about the Liverpool contract situation right now. We have three major players that their contracts are gonna expire in 2025, and those three players are Trent Alexander-Arnold. We have Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk.
That's right. I mean, you have three, you could say arguably three most important players on the team that are playing game in, game out, and they're set to have a contract expired in what, 8 months or so, end of the season we can
End of the
say.
season, yep.
And that's a tough situation if you're on the verge of losing three players, or we'll discuss whether they're going to lose them or not, but maybe we can go into what they've done for the club and where they stand as far as importance.
Yeah, no, one big memory I have of Trent is when he crossed the ball to Divock Origi, that last like play for us to score that goal. That was like
Against Barcelona.
against Barca.
And you guys were already down 3-0.
Yeah, that was the comeback game.
That
That was a big
crazy.
moment. He was part of that team. Trent started young with us under Klopp. Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Yeah, I mean Mo Salah coming into Liverpool, buying him for what, like probably like 40 mil.
Not only that, we thought he was a flop for the Premier League when he came to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Most of the world was like, this guy Mo Salah, yeah, Egyptian, good guy, but not really Premier League caliber. He turned that down and really turned up.
The thing with him though, he wanted to leave Chelsea. Mourinho wanted him to stay. So
Same with De Bruyne.
Mourinho's probably seen something. Yeah, same with De Bruyne. He probably seen something in him, but being the player that he is, like he has the same personality. Mo Salah's the type of guy that wants to play on the field week in, week out, even at 32 years old.
Yep.
And at 32 years old, I have no problem with it because why? He's playing and he's performing. Virgil, coming from Southampton, was one of our biggest Christmas signings in the longest time.
Yo, he was supposed to sign that summer,
Yeah.
but Klopp, I guess, broke some rules, can't talk before a certain time, so they had to delay it like 6 months or whatever. Yeah.
I
So he
didn't
was supposed to be a
remember
summer
that.
signing, but because of some type of sanction or whatever, he came in that January window, which I remember.
But those were important pieces, and they're still important pieces, and we'll go over that. So, so I'm hearing that all three players are discussing their contracts with
Yeah.
Liverpool right now, and they're gonna talk about the length, what else, the amount of
pay,
money, uh,
role in the squad.
role in the squad. What else? Maybe even the project, that they're gonna, have. But then again, it's like, all right, let's go through them. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's 25 years old. He'll be 26 in October. He will still be a young player, and his evaluation's at 100 million. How do you let a guy go like that?
$100 million player.
$100 million
like,
player.
This is
That's like an Mbappe thing,
yeah,
like Mbappe going around Madrid for free, and how much is Mbappe really worth? Like
exactly
100 and change.
because I've never heard of a defender anywhere near 100 million. They're usually much lower, but because of Trent's versatility, we've seldom seen a right back like him or outside back in general. You can probably count on your fingers how many of his type are, but the way he can invert in the midfield and like
Oh yeah.
pass and cross and shoot and all these things, he's a different caliber of player.
And this season too, like with Klopp just started inverting him. Actually in the beginning, Klopp had him like running, making them overlapping
Right.
runs, but then he started inverting him. And now with Schlott, it's more like he's in the central space. He's in the half space. He's overlapping. He's
like a blend of
everywhere.
everything, yeah.
Everywhere. And he looks good too.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk about all these players, but as far as Trent goes, he might be one of the most important and one of the most desperate they're willing to keep, especially because they didn't really make any reinforcements this summer window in case any of them were to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like they tried to get a center midfielder, Zubamendi, he rejected. They did get Mamadashvili, which looks like they're kind of planning ahead already because Alisson is still good on his contract, but he's getting older.
Yo, and Alisson's there until like 2027.
So he's
So he
what,
got a lot
31?
of, yeah, he's around there.
He's getting some injuries.
But goalie's
Mamadashvili's 23.
31's young still.
31's young, but all it takes is one injury
For
and then
sure.
you're on your way down. But I think Liverpool has kind of like, oh shoot, we let Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent all pretty much expire at the same time
Yep.
without doing anything about it. Let's at least get Mamadou. But pretty much what I'm saying is they didn't have the best summer window, so they're in my opinion, probably desperation more than ever to keep these three players because if they leave, these are not players that you just replace in the next summer window.
Oh no, these are
These
players
are
you gotta
players that-
replace over the next maybe 10 years.
Exactly.
Because what? They've been here for almost 10 years, if you think about it. If not,
Trent at least 10 years. And in the academy,
I don't know
in
when
the club
Salah
and stuff.
came. Salah came what, like maybe like 2017, 2016, around there. But that's a long time, dude. A long time.
Yeah.
And his stats too, throughout those years, always been like around the same. He hasn't dropped in form. So
Yeah, I mean, age is not really catching up to him yet, but you never know. 1 year could be everything, but I really don't see that from Salah. I
No.
feel like he's going to continue going until 34, 35. Then we might see a real slowdown, but a player of his caliber, we're considering him one of the top players in the world still.
yep.
So that's not someone you can really leave. But let's finish off on Trent.
Yeah. We over here talking about Salah, and we gotta talk about Trent.
Trent, he's obviously wanted by a lot of clubs, but one of the most important clubs is Real Madrid, arguably the most successful club in sports history. If we're really being
Yeah, if you
honest.
put it out there, yeah, true.
And when that call comes, it's not one that you really want to reject because it doesn't come too often. It came probably twice for Mbappe, but Mbappe is like once in a generation type of player. Same just Trent, but there's some things going on at Real Madrid we can talk about later that is pretty much poised for him to go. So if someone like Real Madrid is coming, as Trent, you're like, man, I love Liverpool, but this is Real Madrid.
You know, I agree. But with Daniel Carvajal getting injured recently, Real Madrid might want to like expedite that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, yeah, we might could get him on a free, but we can also purchase him in January on a discounted price if he doesn't agree. Like, yo, honestly, if they were to, like, say, throw 50 million, I'll take 50 million. If he's not willing to extend his contract, you got to take it. Yeah.
Do you though? Because you're still in contention with Champions League. You're still in contention with the Premier League and all these other cups. Do you really want to put one of your best players on your competitor in the Champions League?
I get it.
You're not gonna have enough reinforcement.
I
Conor
get
Bradley,
it.
great player. but come on.
Understood. But then, all right, do you get money for him in January or do you let him go on a free in the summer? I would personally just let him go.
I think that thought was something when he had like 2 years on his contract.
Yeah.
Something to discuss. But right now, you want to win something. Because if you win
For
something,
sure.
you make more than 50.
I guess so.
And you guys are looking really good. You guys are first in the Premier League.
As of now.
You guys are looking good in the Champions League. You got to keep what you have and build on it because if you toss it all the way, what does that say is you
No,
as a
I
club,
understand.
you know what
I
I'm saying?
get that. I get your point. I personally wouldn't want him to go regardless.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But if I had the option, I might have to take that risk because, you know, you get some type of money in and maybe even still fighting for, you know, the Champions Leagues and the EPL. But it's a tough topic. I don't even want to talk about this because because I want him to stay. I would want him to stay. But Mo Salah,
His counterpart on the right-hand side.
yeah, so he has how many goal involvements so far? Like 11. He has one more than Bukayo Saka
In 7 games.
in all comps.
Oh, no, all comps. Okay.
All comps. And, you know, that says a lot, man. 32 years old. Eden Hazard wasn't doing that.
He is retired.
All right.
He retired at
Even
32.
better. Wayne Rooney at 32 was not doing that.
No.
And Thierry Henry. Some of the EPL greats I'm naming right now at 32 years old weren't doing what Mo Salah is doing right now. So for Mo Salah to be doing this, I'm rewarding the guy. I would reward him based on the length of a contract. I wouldn't go more than the 350 he's earning right now. I would say at 32, I'd probably give him max 3 years.
If I'm Salah, though, I'm saying, listen, I brought this to the table for the past 6 years at this club, 7 years, however long he's been there. I've been consistent. I've done what you asked me to do. I played the team ball. I performed. I've put in goals, assists, ran back, did everything. I think the time now is to pay me maybe what I was worth back then, and I didn't take that money. I have 2-3 years on my contract. I would like 2-3 more years at this club at least. I want to end it off on a high note on my career. This is my favorite club of all time. I love the fans. The fans love me. I want to continue to perform for the club. But I need to be compensated for my value because I know there's others out there that see me for what I'm actually worth. Salah, hire me, brother. I can be your agent.
See, yeah, I get all that, but we also gotta be realistic too, and we gotta put his age in perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe you add incentives in, like add bonuses. Maybe if he gets goals, if he stays fit, if he could play a certain amount of minutes a year or whatever, give him more money. But to give him more money weekly, I don't think we should do that. And at 350 pounds, like, come on, dude, that's a lot of money.
That's huge money, but if Saudi's willing to pay $1 million
Yeah,
a week,
he could go to Saudi for sure, but you could go to Saudi or you could still be playing at the best league in the world.
that's true.
And you could still be playing at within the best competitions. Where we're at right now, it looks like we're going to be at a top 4 position. We look really good.
No,
We look really
seriously
good. And I know most people would say we haven't been tested yet, but that's fine. We'll see how we do when we get to those tests. You know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping Mo Salah. I'll probably give him a 3-year contract.
I mean, I would keep him too. Is he willing to stay for?
Yeah, for sure.
less?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I get
And
you.
I think the next player we're going to talk about is similar to Salah. Virgil van Dijk, 33 years old, will be 34 by the summertime when his contract expires. He's been a staple in that defense. Pretty much the moment he signed, that defense has been solid.
Yeah.
Regardless of who his partnership was, it went down from Matip to all the way down to Jordan Henderson at sometimes.
Yep.
That center back partnership or wherever he was at, he was the leader. He's been the captain. He's been leading the ship from the back to the front. And
He was almost like a captain when Jordan Henderson was there.
exactly. You can see him on the pitch. There's certain players on the field you just seem like, hey, this guy, he got it, the it factor. And me, I'm not a Liverpool fan or anything, but I'm a fan of the game. And when you see a player of that caliber that can pass as a defender, score goals,
Track
back, not get dribbled. Didn't he have some streak of never getting dribbled for like 70-something games? Something crazy like that. To see him go would be, I mean, all of them would be sad, but this one would be, for me, catastrophic as far as the foundation of that club on the pitch.
All good things come to an end. But if we're looking at how good they're playing right now in the beginning of the season and within their age right now, you got to keep them, dude. You got to keep them. Even if it's for maybe one more year for Van Dijk or maybe a couple years, you keep him and say he doesn't perform to the level that he's performing right now. You know, he's teaching Konate a bit more. He's closer to Kwanzaa a little bit more. Kwanzaa's very young.
Did you see what Kwanzaa said? Kwanzaa and Konate just got their contract intersections.
Yeah.
And that's great for them because now they're learning from Van Dijk. Jarrell constantly, like, they had this little press conference thing after they signed the contract. He said, "This club right here is the best club for me to be at because of the people I'm around, the people I'm learning from." And that's pretty much saying because Van
Because
Dijk
Van Dijk's
is
there.
the
Yeah,
best
for sure.
center back and the best one to learn from what all
I
he
agree.
experienced.
I agree. But then you have Van Dijk. He leads in aerial duels, clearances, interceptions per game.
And Konate is number 2 in aerial duels. So that's not by accident. That's got to be
Yeah.
because Van Dijk is right next to you and you're learning from one of the greats.
And I'm not going to lie, on the slot, we look very good defensively. So that's another reason for, him to be like, hey, Van Dijk, maybe you should stay a year or two.
That's right.
And it looks like they have a good relationship too. Dutch on Dutch, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, yo, Gravenberch, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't I tell you? Remember in the summer when he got hired, I was like, bro, Gakpo's going to have some pivotal moments in here. Gravenberch, all these Dutch guys are going to be able
But
to
they're doing their thing, though.
They're doing their thing, which we got to give credit to where credit is due. But as far as Van Dijk and Konate, not even Konate, but like Van Dijk, this is not someone that you can just go on the market and replace. For sure. If there's anybody like that, like, if there is one, it's Saliba, and he's never leaving Arsenal to Liverpool.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Or it could be internally, like with Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Because
but, man, Kwanzaa to Van Dijk, I can't even begin to put those two in
that's
the
gonna
same
be
sentence.
yeah. It's gonna be a long-term play, but like we said, being around him, he should, I wouldn't say perform to his level, but learn a lot,
Yeah,
so
it would have been nice if they had made some good summer signings to prepare for that, but
yeah, I agree. And we got rid of Montip, so we were down one less center back. So if I'm gonna run through them real quick, if I'm giving a contract to Trent, I'll give a contract to until he's 30. So 4-year contract. Mo Salah at the moment, 2 to 3. And for Van Dijk, I'm probably giving him a 2-year contract. But with Van Dijk right now,
he'll be 36 by the time that
that's
expires.
fine, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. And there's people like around him that are saying that he wants to stay. So like, close family are talking that, and they're saying
I've
like,
heard
hey,
that they all want to stay.
Yeah,
but the contract has to make sense.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, what's the likelihood of them all staying, in your opinion? All three of them staying.
That's tough.
Extend their contract. What is the likelihood, percentage-wise, of them all staying?
Damn, all?
All three. You'll see him in a Liverpool shirt next year.
I'm going to give it, I'm very confident.
Wow.
I'm going to give it 90%. I'm going to give it 90%.
90? Seriously?
I think so, because if you look at all these players, especially like Mo and Van Dijk, they're at that age. It's like I only have a couple more years to be my best. And throughout their career, their best was Liverpool. So why not stay with the team, that you've won the Champions Leagues, right? And we haven't touched the Champions League in a long time. You won a Premier League, and we haven't touched it in a long time, and we did that because of you.
Well, we could say
and you're part of that history.
We could say
and these are legends, though. These are legends. I'm talking about Van Dijk might go down as one of the EPL greats. I know a lot of people would hate that. You know what I'm saying?
He's EPL great. Who would hate that?
I'm saying because based on, like, when you compare him to, like, the Fernandes, John Terry's, they have a lot more Premier Leagues,
he's not on that level, I would
but
say, but he's in the conversation.
Fernandes thinks Van Dijk is up there. I
think so. I don't think
you seen, bro, did you see a video of he was asked a few questions on a lie detector test, and it was like, do you believe Van Dijk is better than you?
I did see this. I forgot what
happened. And then he said no. And then it came back and it said that he lied. So, I think these people really think highly of Van Dijk, even though he hasn't, won all these Premier Leagues. I mean, granted, you got, Man City over here, and you got Pep Guardiola that controlled the league for a long time.
His reign could be coming to an end next year, which we might have to talk about in a different segment. But
for sure. But if I'm them, I'm staying because there's so much more to the future too. The whole team looks great right now. Sabas looks good. You got McAllister that looks good. You have who else looks good? The whole front three. Diaz, like he's
Phenomenal.
performing at a level we've never seen before. And I don't know, just the whole team. Curtis Jones looks good. They have players that can come in and come out any week, and I'm staying with it because I love Schlott ball right now. I think they trust Schlott.
Yeah, they look good, man. And this is what I was gonna say about defensively, especially with Van Dijk. Even last year with Klopp, you would see because of their high pressing style, they'll concede a goal,
Yes,
but they'll make up those goals.
for sure.
With this structure that Slot has, and I think this is a lot better for a defender like Trent that struggles defensively sometimes, and Van Dijk that
And
is,
aging Van
is
Dijk.
aging, where it's a lot more solid, not
And then
back and forth.
it's the same
craziness.
thing with Salah. Klopp would have Salah running down the line all the time. Not that it's a problem,
Right.
but now that Schlott is here, they're playing patient football. So you're not going to run Salah through the ground. And we also have a lot of players that we can rotate him. Dude, we got 3 players on the bench that could play in any EPL team right now, honestly.
Who are they?
I'm talking about Gakpo,
True.
Nunes, and Chiesa. You don't think Nunes could play in any team?
Nunes. He doesn't play for Chelsea.
He doesn't?
No.
You're crazy.
Bro,
You're absolutely
I'm
crazy.
playing Nkunku at number 9 before I play
Yeah,
Darwin Nunes. That's
bro.
for sure.
And Google's not even playing number 9 right now.
Because Jackson starts, so I'm playing Jackson
So
over.
you're
Nunes.
playing Jackson over Nunes?
at Chelsea.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a bit crazy, but okay.
Obviously, Man City's not gonna play.
Yeah.
They like
Arsenal,
Havertz.
he could play. He could play.
Maybe he come off the bench. Yeah, maybe he come off the bench. What I'm saying is,
You get what I'm trying to say,
know what
though.
you're saying.
They can play for any team. It doesn't. They don't have to necessarily start. I'm just saying, like game time.
okay, yeah.
So, with that rotation, you can finally say, hey, Mo Salah, come off. We're gonna play you next game,
He ain't
gonna
having
play
that.
you next
He
game.
ain't having that.
and then we're gonna put
Nah,
Chiesa
he's
in.
not having
But low
that.
key, he's been playing a lot of minutes, but he's fit. He looks good and he looks happy. So I'm okay with it. But
Well, good luck to you guys. 90% is a bit mad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 40% that they all stay, 75% that 2 of them stay, and 100% that at least one. 99% that one stays at least.
okay.
I just see one leaving.
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
I just don't know which one. I think Trent has the most reason to leave
Yeah,
because Real Madrid's knocking on your door.
he's youthful, young
He
guy.
still has his prime to hit. He's just getting in there. VVD, just finish your career over there at Liverpool, another 2 years. Same thing with Salah. And ride the storm.
Salah could have left a long time ago too. He had interest from Real Madrid and all these other teams, PSG, and he chose to stay. So, if Trent could do the same, we'll appreciate you. So,
Let's find out.
we'll find out.